Alright, happy March 5th, everybody. This is the third part with John Anderson. He is one of the guys behind Isagenix, which I live by, love. GMO-free, all good protein products, cleansing, cleaning out the system, getting all the toxic crap out that the FDA allows in. 70,000 different toxins. Yeah, there's not really much to look at here. But 70,000 different toxins that they allow in our food. Isagenix cleans all that out. In any case, hope everybody had a good weekend, and let's roll on with the show.
The choice for most women today.
They have to work.
They have to work. And what happens is when women feel they have to do something, has a different effect on their stress levels than men. You know, if there's a fire and we have to get up and put out the fire, actually that will lower a man's stress levels. But if he feels confident he can do it, you know, like I'm accomplishing something. And for a woman, when she does something she has to do, she doesn't, you know, want to do it, whatever, her stress levels are much higher than a man's in that situation. So, you know, women traditionally have had jobs that were more nurturing, more rhythmic, more secure. You know, they weren't filled with risk and uncertainty. So I wrote this book, you know, Venus on Fire. I did the show before talking about how many women's hormones are different, but that helps to explain it. There's a hormone called oxytocin, and that hormone oxytocin is what lowers stress in women. And it's produced when you're in a situation that doesn't require risk or urgency or sacrifice or pressure. So when women are in situations of risk, urgency, sacrifice, and pressure, what happens is the hormone testosterone gets released, and that's good for men, but not so good for women. It actually inhibits the production of oxytocin in women. So we have is a lot of women that are very low in their hormones. You know, we were just hearing one of your news things, which is that they're finding out that when girls go through puberty, hormones get produced, and that has to do with obesity. Well, right. Translate that into simple logic. What happens is when she starts having her period, she's now cycling the hormones estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is actually fat-storing hormone. Progesterone is fat-burning hormone. And what happens is if you're stressed because you have urgency and emergency in your life, the stress hormone converts progesterone, the fat-burning hormone, into cortisol, which allows you to run away from a bear faster. But now you have what's called estrogen dominance, too much estrogen, not enough progesterone, and you start storing weight.
How do you know how much is too much, John? I mean, do you have to get blood tests? What do people do?
Well, as far as our conversation goes, it's that, you know, people go, oh, should I test my hormones? I say not necessary. Because what are you going to do? Go test your hormones, find you're low in progesterone, then your doctor's going to say, take progesterone. It's the worst thing you can do. And men find out their testosterone levels are low, go and take testosterone? No way. These things cause cancer. These things cause all kinds of problems. If you take hormones, what you want to do, there's lots of scientific research that just shows us the symptoms of hormonal imbalance. But the way you create the balance is understand how we went out of balance.
Well, that's right. I mean, can't the body correct it itself?
It does. That's my whole message, is helping people be aware of the problem and how to correct it. For example, so many men, as they get older, they have low testosterone. And the average 40-year-old man today has the testosterone levels of a 70-year-old man.
Whoa. Just
30 years ago. So this is a transition in 30 years.
All because of environment and lifestyle?
Those two things. The environment is the estrogens that are in the chemicals in our environment. You know, when they put hormones in the meat and the chicken, that estrogen will lower your testosterone. That's the environmental factor. But then there's also a lifestyle factor, which is if you're a guy and you come home and your wife is like nagging you and wants you to do different things, and you don't get sort of time to relax and rest and forget the problems of your day, men are designed to literally turn off their brain. We can do it. You know, meditation does it, watching the news does it, doing some exercise does it, having a hobby does it, listening to your show does it. It allows you to forget your real-life problems. If a man has time to relax and forget his world, you know, the responsibilities of his life, they've proven that that's what rebuilds testosterone levels.
Well, what about the woman who comes home and gets nagged by her husband?
Well, that's not as common. You know, I mean, it does happen. But really what's going on is the guys are kind of like, hey, honey, relax. And she can't relax. She's the one who's running around, you know, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And women, it turns out, you see, they don't have this ability to just turn off the stress in their brain. Men do. All you have to do is distract your attention from your problems to other things that are interesting to you.
Until they think of the problem again.
Until they think of the problem. So for men, it's about learning to forget the serious problems so you can go back and fight the battle again the next day. So for women, they're not designed to turn off. Their brain stays active even when they're sleeping, and their stress levels remain high unless they produce a lot of oxytocin and serotonin. And if they produce the serotonin, their oxytocin levels start to increase. And the oxytocin is what lowers her stress. So if a woman has, if she doesn't feel she's in a hurry, then oxytocin levels can start to increase. If a woman eats a high carbohydrate diet, which is one of the symptoms of low serotonin.
That's not good, is it?
That's right. It's sugar cravings. She'll have sugar cravings, and every time she has sugar craving, she gets a little burst of serotonin, and then it crashes down again. So what happens is she keeps having these symptoms of higher and higher stress. She keeps craving more and more carbohydrates, which gives her temporary relief, but it doesn't actually balance her blood sugar. It doesn't balance her hormones. It doesn't increase the serotonin. When we go back to the serotonin, one of the key things there is to know that every time you eat sugar, or potato chips, or white bread, even enriched breads, all those things have the effect of increasing your blood sugar. When your blood sugar increases, it depletes your brain of lithium. So anybody who has sugar cravings needs to supplement with lithium orotate.
So if you have a high glucose level, that happens then, right?
If you have a high glucose level, then you always need to be supplementing with lithium orotate. Now, another thing, with high glucose levels, this is something very interesting.
You told me once to take PGX.
Oh.
You still a proponent of that?
Yes, completely. PGX is fantastic. Now, another thing, you take the PGX before meals, and it will start lowering your blood sugar, which is critical to long life and health. What also happens is more and more research is coming out about the benefits of coffee. And, you know, it particularly for men, but what they're finding is men who drink 4 cups of coffee a day have a dramatically lower incidence of Parkinson's, have dramatically lower incidence of heart disease, dramatically lower incidence of cancer.
Really?
Yeah, this is like
it caffeinated or decaf? Does it matter?
Caffeinated.
Caffeinated.
Now, I was against that in the beginning, 15 years ago.
I'd be bouncing off the walls with 3 cups of coffee.
Well, you don't drink.
I don't even drink coffee.
If you do 1 cup for several years, then you can move on to 2. And then 2 doesn't do much, and you move on to 3. I'm really at the place where I do 1 cup of coffee a couple of days, and I go off for a couple of days.
And you feel a difference?
Oh, it's huge. What it does is the research has shown that. So I wanted to figure out, okay, what is it? Because I was like against coffee for a long time. I'm kind of a purist in many ways. But then when the research was real. So then I found out that coffee helps to balance your blood sugar. So just keep that in mind. This is an amazing thing, which is coffee has proven to increase dopamine, which males tend to need more dopamine, and it's actually a mild version of Ritalin, but not dangerous.
I do take green coffee extract.
Oh, you're doing that?
Yeah. Is that good?
Oh, that's great. That's another great one for balancing your blood sugar. You're probably doing, the combination that also has some kelp in it, I bet.
That's right.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know the guys that invented that. That's a super product to take before meals.
It says it lowers your blood glucose level by 20 to 25%.
That's right. Are you testing yours in the morning?
Yeah, I do.
What is yours?
I do. It was 120. It's down to about 100 now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, according to medical people, that's the top end of healthy, but according to the people that make that pill, it should be at 85.
That's right.
Mine's at 85, and I'm really happy about that.
Good for you. John, we're going to take this break in a moment. We're going to come back. Our special guest, Dr. John Gray, his website, MarsVenus.com. We're talking about his new work, From Boyhood to Manhood. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll give you an opportunity to chat with him about what we're talking about tonight. Incredible statistics. As a matter of fact, did you know that in 1920, American males lived 1 year less than females? Today, it's 5 years less. Guys, you got to change the way you live to be more, I guess, successful in life and live longer. Here's our next emerging artist, Charles Ratty. The song Alive from Louisville, Kentucky.
Let's hear this guy for a
Take it away, Charles.
We got a minute or two. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, all right. Okay, so I'm going to probably be emailing this to my sister-in-law, my wife, Patty, because this is the guy from Isagenix, and he's spelling it all out a little bit. I mean, I'm not, I don't know if I'm crazy about thinking about getting so much coffee every day because of the whole pH thing. I don't have problems with my glucose, but that is very interesting if you have problems. Look at this, static cling, sorry. Alright, if you do have problems with your glucose, that is some very interesting information. So I'm going to send this one around, because this is kind of important for the people that I love, which is everybody. But yeah, the hormone thing is everywhere, and lithium orotate apparently is the way to level that out. All right, because yeah, I listened to the only unrated doctor show in America, Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve on the Opie and Anthony channel on XM, and the whole show is on testosterone replacement, and I'm going to send this to them too, because they're all taking testosterone to make up for the testosterone that they're missing, when in the end it's obviously a problem with the body that's not producing enough testosterone, so you have to get that hormone leveled out. That's where the lithium comes in, and it's over the counter. They're paying like 150, 180 at you know, with insurance for a testosterone replacement. So if you could just do some opium orotate, maybe that's the way to go. All right, I love you guys all. 6 things: breathe, eat, drink, say, do, think. Heavy body weight in ounces. Throw in your trail mix. Do some yoga, some deep breathing, and feel good every day. And love it and live it every day. Live it now. Later.